So, travel conditioning hike here along the San Diego coastline on a foggy morning, but it's going to be very sunny later. In fact, it's sunny where I live at, but foggy here still. So I'm about 15 minutes away. So it's, imagine that, right here on the coastline. Foggy, 15 minutes from my house. It's sunny, but it's gonna be a beautiful day. And I just love doing this because I'm really looking forward to my upcoming trip to Southeast Asia. And this is, like I say, one of my conditioning hikes that I like to do to keep myself in shape for my upcoming travels. And people that do follow me or subscribe have seen my videos that I am a one-bag traveler. Here, turn it around so you can see the ocean. Very mellow out today. And I only travel with one bag. And over the last couple weeks, I've been getting it down to, I have it down to like 25 pounds, which is about right for what I'm going to need for the next several months over in Asia. Because whatever I can't find or whatever I can't get, I can always get it over there. So that's kind of what my mindset is. It's not like I'm going to some remote place and I can't get anything. But I have that down pretty well. I actually did some walking around over the last several days with the bag on my back to make sure everything sits right, and getting ready for my outgoing travels. I've actually had a couple folks ask me what my first stop is going to be, and my first stop will be Phuket, and I'll be there for a little bit. And Phuket will be kind of like the actual base. From there I can go to a lot of other different Asian countries. It's kind of like a hub, you know. And it's very inexpensive to travel from, let's say, Phuket, I go to Bangkok, and then Bangkok I can go just about any Asian country. Relatively inexpensive. But the reason why, one of the reasons why I like to be a one-bag traveler is because of that. Because it's much simpler to travel on one bag on these budget airlines than it is to check-in bags, because they actually charge you extra if you check in a bag. And you don't really need to check in one. As long as it fits under the seat and the overhead, you're good to go. So I have that down pretty well. I'm looking forward to that. And this will probably be one of my last videos here in my San Diego travels before I start heading over there in the next few days. So looking forward to that. You know, just some other travel tips as far as like credit cards, ATM cards. Always do a PIN check prior to leaving, and that's what I did the other day. Is I made sure all my pins on my CC cards, they work, you know, because you don't want to show up over there and then all of a sudden it doesn't work. You know, you want the cash. You know, even if, you know, some companies require you to notify, you know, where you're traveling to. Oftentimes they do that. I work with Chase, and usually I let them know where I'm going, and that way there's no issue on getting you know, declined. And then be wary about, you know, if you're traveling to, let's say, you know, like my first stop is Phuket. And I've been there several times. There's like 2 or 3 ATM machines that I only use those ATM machines to get cash out of. And I won't go to, you know, any off-the-wall ATMs. I try to stick to the same ones that I know that are not going to give me any problem. I stay away from like 7-Eleven ATMs or, you know, very quick ones in highly populated areas. So that was just another travel tip I like to pass while I'm doing my conditioning hike. I mean, why not? anybody that does subscribe to me, I really appreciate it. So continuing my conditioning hike here on the coastline of San Diego, California, and actually not far from Black's Beach, but more traveling tips. Now, what I highly recommend is, the problem you can also deal with is pickpockets. And what I like to do is, especially when I go out and do a lot of these vlogs, is I make sure that, one, my wallet is in a zipper pocket. And I do have a zipper pocket right here. You can see this on these pants right here. And that's very protective, because one thing I don't want to do is have that wallet in the back pocket or not secured, because pickpockets are very clever and they just bump you and boom, stick your hand in there and the wallet's gone. Now, I do have this new little side pouch that I'm going to try out, that I picked up off of Amazon, and that kind of like fits like right here on the side. I didn't bring it with me here, but I plan on trying that out. So another trick, like I say, have pockets with zippers on it, and that will help prevent the suspected pickpocket from making your trip turning into a nightmare. So that's another travel tip. So along with my great conditioning walk, it's always nice to come up with some travel tips. So I've actually come here, this is about the turnaround point, and look up ahead here in my travel conditioning hike. Right up ahead is pretty much Black's Beach. I can see the glider port in the distance, and the tide is still pretty good. Not sure what I didn't read the tides coming in, but this is kind of the ending point right here for me, or actually turnaround point. Very beautiful with this area. So what I'm going to do is actually take this trail back, which will probably bring me back up to the main road instead of taking the beach back. Get it on the high one. This is kind of a sign right there, and head up the stairs back up to the main road. So very nice coastline and good for conditioning. Until I get up there to the main road coming from the beach, which is over there. Look at the coastline here. It's pretty nice. A lot of folks out today. Very popular spot. So we're gonna head over here to Yucca Point during my travel conditioning hike. And it's right over this way. So this ought to be a pretty good shot. And thank you very much for following along on my conditioning hike and travel tip hike. I'm just gonna name it that. I gotta name this video something. You know, if you like this video, you know, give it a thumbs up if you like it. Consider subscribing. And I got some really fun travels coming up here in the future. And this is just the beginning. So this is Yucca Point. Check it out. I was just down there. I'm actually back up here on the road after coming from Flat Rock and seeing Yucca Point off of Torrey Pines, and also looking into Black's Beach on my travel conditioning. So I just finished my travel conditioning hike along with some travel tips. A few of them, not a lot, but just some, just so you know the video's not so boring. I'm over here at Torrey Pines, and here's a look at the beach. I actually went south down there, came around to hike up inland toward the the lodge and then came back down this way, and this is a shot of the beach. Torrey Pines.